Was it a consumer advertisement? What's that? Who spoke?
It was an advertisement just on consumers.
Exactly. So that was done by HP, which is why they partnered with us, not to sell to NASCAR, but to sell to other companies. And the reason why they connected with us is because of the B2B play, which is business to business. So that allows them to go to the University of Alabama, to Nike, to Under Armour, and say, look what we've done with NASCAR. Look at how they're using it. So you know when Steve Whirling spoke? That was Mandarin Chinese to me. I didn't understand a word he said. I've listened to this video 45 times. I still have no idea what he was talking about. Hopefully you IT experts understood what he was talking about. But that's because this is designed to connect to those type of people who understand what this kind of data can mean to their business. So from our perspective, we get reports so that we can see and hear what people are saying about our sport and adjust our communications accordingly. I actually didn't do this on purpose, but I heard this is a Pepsi campus. Bad. Bad, 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 bad. Coke's one of our best sponsors, which actually leads me to a perfect point. I actually didn't even realize I was doing that. So, see all the stuff you just saw in the Fan and Media Engagement Center? Coca-Cola, one of NASCAR's biggest sponsors, came to us and said, we need more data on your drivers because we have to figure out how we're going to leverage your drivers to sell our product. And if you've seen over the last year or so, Coca-Cola has this racing family of NASCAR drivers, and that's their campaign. But they turn to us as our partners, and one of the reasons they sponsor our sport, because we were able to tell them, this is what our fans think about Danica Patrick. This is what our fans think about Tony Stewart. This is what our fans think about Ryan Newman. This is what our fans think about Jimmy Johnson. And decide who among the athletes that they sponsor to feature, how to feature them. How do they track with millennials? How do they track with African Americans? How do they track with Hispanics? And if you get into, as Steve, our CMO said, if you get into real actionable data and you can provide it to sponsors, that's why they want to be with a sport. Sometimes it's because they just love the product and they want to come to the races. But usually there's a business reason because it's a bottom line world out there and they need to sell their product and they use NASCAR as a tool to do that. So we've used it with sponsor renewals, shown people how that impacted a particular driver, how we interact socially with them through the fan and media engagement, how it changes the way we deal with issues and crises, and not joking, there is one or two or three that we have to deal with pretty much every single day. So, in a nutshell, I'll wrap it up and leave it for questions. So, communications, PR, is that a good thing? Is it important? Absolutely. But you've got to establish that it's to drive revenue. Not because you want to look good, it's because it helps you to drive revenue in a positive way. So last year, we signed a 10-year deal with Fox and a 10-year deal with NBC to broadcast our sport through 2024. And we did it in a year when our TV numbers were down. And one of the reasons why Steve Herbst, our VP of Productions, loves IMC and plants kisses on Scott Warfield, our Director of Broadcast Communications, is because he managed the narrative all year long. And instead, when people were saying, NASCAR's, on a downward path, TV ratings aren't good, he was on it. He was on top of it. He was explaining to our influencers, here's where we're tracking, this is where we're at, compare us to other sports. What's the beautiful thing for television? And you can't answer, dude in the corner with the computer. What's the beautiful thing about sports for TV? Why does TV love sports? Hold up your hand, because you should all know this. Yes?
It generates viewers.
Generates Well, that's absolutely one reason, but so does The Walking Dead. Yes, sir.
You have to watch sports live. You can't watch it online later.
Exactly, bingo. So the NBA just signed a massive deal because people who are advertising in sports, usually you watch it live. You don't want to watch the Alabama-Texas A&M game Saturday 4 hours later because you'll know the result. And it's not scripted television. So that means you're going to sit through those commercials that you hate. But that's what they're paying for. So we believe sports is still the best product to advertise and convince people to buy your product, use your product. And what NASCAR hangs its hat on is brand loyalty. Our fans, they understand the business. They sometimes get criticized for certain things they do, but they understand that Jimmy Johnson is in that car that's being funded by a great team in Hendrick Motorsports because Lowe's behind them. And they will support Lowe's first and foremost. They'll drive past, and I used the anecdote earlier, apologize to those, they'll drive past Home Depot another 5 miles to go buy a hammer at Lowe's. And that's what NASCAR can deliver that other sports don't quite have as much of. And that's powerful. Just like when our people criticize our TV ratings flattening out or dropping, we'll say, hey, we'll take those numbers, 6 million viewers, each of our events all year long, every Saturday night or Sunday. That's what our partners like. MLB, great playoffs, great numbers. Rest of the year, not so much, all right? So that's the thing that we hang our hat on. So we've got partners like Sprint that are in a really competitive business. We've got all kinds of brands that use our drivers, use our sport to sell their product. And even during some downturns, we actually now have nearly 1 in 4 Fortune 500 companies in our sport, and that's actually increased since the downturn. So we continue to win. You know, we've had some significant growth in digital social since we put some focus on it, and that's important to us, but we know we got a long way to go there. So this is something that we know we have to continue because our fan base wants more content. So it's a little bit of a buzzword, but content now is what's the most important thing for anybody who's involved in sports and how you communicate it. And you just got to find the right vehicles. You got to find what is it that's going to get people to watch your sport on TV, come to your races, buy stuff, purchase a shirt, follow your sport all year long instead of once a year. You know, we met with your internal agency today because one of the things we're trying to do is drive tune-in to the Daytona 500. So our TV numbers, the Daytona 500, our opening event of the year, are high. Because we know through our research that if we start strong in Daytona, it has a huge carryover effect over the rest of the year. So that's singly the most important thing for us to focus on.
Is everyone dialed into the Rowdy Nation call?
Yep. There are 93,525 people in your conference.
Greetings, Outlaw Nation. Did everybody get the email?
Yeah, I got subject, new chase for the Nascar Sprint Cup format.
That one. Let's start with the name.
The Chase Grid.
Ooh, sounds dramatic.
You are correct, sir.
Thanks a lot for the tea and cookies. I appreciate it.
So you actually came to our house to explain the chase to us?
That's what I'm here to talk about.
Oh, like a bracket?
Yeah, only it's a Chase Grid.
It's the new playoff format.
We start with the Challenger round.
The 16 drivers that make the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup run 3 races.
Chicago, New Hampshire, Dover.
After Dover, 4 are eliminated.
Eliminated?
Kaput.
They just can't win the championship. If you win one of the 3 races, you automatically advance.
Points decide the rest of the spots, and if you don't win, you better be a front runner.
Then, the second round.
The contender round.
12 drivers, 3 races.
Kansas, Charlotte, Talladega. Hey Roy, when any of those races, and you advance again.
After Talladega, 4 more are eliminated.
Cuatro más?
See? Yes, ma'am.
Then the third round.
The Eliminator round.
Eliminator.
8 drivers compete. Only 4 advance.
The championship round at Miami.
1 race,
4 drivers.
all with an equal chance.
Capiche?
Wow.
The first of the 4 to finish.
Wins the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup.
Faux show.
I hope it's you. Man, that'd feel good. Have some tea for that.
Have a good day.
So that was what we're in the midst of right now. Completely changed our format of our playoffs. Hopefully some of you have been following. This was, again, not a direct advertisement because obviously it was long, but it was something that we used through our digital channels, and it's education, you know. So people better understand how our format works. So I'm gonna wrap up. You know, what I've always told my staff is that you can't build a reputation on what you're going to do. So that drives us, something we live and breathe every day. So we're happy with where we are right now in NASCAR, and we've got this cool new format. We're gonna have a crazy race on Sunday at Talladega. We have the potential to have 4 more drivers get cut, including 3 top former champions. Some people think that's a good thing. Other people think it's the opposite. But it's part of a conversation. And we'd rather be relevant and people talking about us than ignoring us. That's